Alright, here we go again. Richard Dawkins is used to being an aggressive skeptic, tearing down arguments as he sees them left and right. Clearly, he doesn't realize the left is no longer the bunch of fearless dirtbags criticizing anything and everything they see that he knew of when he was younger. Nowadays, the left is softer than a baby's ass. A couple of weeks ago now, Richard Dawkins tweeted,
In 2015, Rachel Dolezal, a white chapter president of NAACP, was vilified for identifying as black. Some men choose to identify as women, and some women choose to identify as men. You will be vilified if you deny that they literally are what they identify as. Discuss.
Later on, he clarified,
I do not intend to disparage trans people. I see that my academic discuss question has been misconstrued as such, and I deplore this. It was also not my intent to ally in any way with Republican bigots in US now exploiting this issue.
A week later, the American Humanist Association released this statement.
Regrettably, Richard Dawkins has over the past several years accumulated a history of making statements that use the guise of scientific discourse to demean marginalized groups, an approach antithetical to humanist values. His latest statements imply that the identities of transgender individuals are fraudulent, while also simultaneously attacking black identity as one that can be assumed when convenient. His subsequent attempts at clarification are inadequate and convey neither sensitivity nor sincerity. Consequently, the AHA board has concluded that Richard Dawkins is no longer deserving of being honored by the AHA and has voted to withdraw, effective immediately, the 1996 Humanist of the Year award.
Alright, let's break this down point by point. First of all, trans people are valid. I don't think there's any reputable psychological, psychiatric, or medical association that denies trans rights. People can defend trans rights much better than I can, so we'll leave it at that. Was Richard Dawkins' tweet irresponsible? Yes, it was very irresponsible. Hey, Dick, you're on Twitter. Twitter! Nobody provides good takes on Twitter. Do you think anybody can provide a nuanced opinion in 140 words? You coined the term meme. You, of all people, should know how ideas and the meanings behind them can mutate over time as they gain a life of their own. What did you think was going to happen? So, obviously, Richard Dawkins received quite a bit of backlash, some justified and some not, which is why he clarified his words to make sure Republicans couldn't use him as ammunition. The original tweet sounds like a transphobic dog whistle for sure, but when we're evaluating the sincerity of anybody's beliefs, we have to take in the context behind things. Richard Dawkins is a celebrated academic with years of research and years of debate behind him. He is an atheist. He's used to having these types of debate backed up by the skeptic community's appreciation of free speech and rational debate. Gone were supposed to be the days where someone who disagreed with you was hanged in the public square for supposedly being a Satanist with malicious intent. He's also old. Not everybody keeps track of the attack helicopter memes and anti-SJW dog whistles of the day.
All lives matter.
And look at the tweet itself. He's clearly not talking about trans people in particular, he's talking about cancel culture. The analogy comparing Rachel Dolezal's transracialism to transgender people was never supposed to be one-to-one. I don't think Richard Dawkins is above criticism here, but with all that context in mind, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Speaking of transracialism, it's very odd how the American Humanist Association used the same argument against transracial people as TERFs use against transgender people.
A man can't be a woman. You haven't experienced the oppression of a real woman.
It's a lazy fucking argument. The analogy between transracial people and transgender is perfectly valid. Both race and gender are social constructs. They're not real. I already did a video on it about a year ago, linked in the top right corner. The point is, not only do we have a bunch of purity testing woke scolds, they're not even right. But this is why it's so important to oppose random cancellations like this. It's just terrible optically. Not everyone on the left is so petty. Hell knows that I'm not. But I'm sorry, the woke pseudo-feminist cancel culture lynch mob absolutely does exist, and it's a huge problem. The anti-SJW movement originally started out as a vaguely left-wing atheist thing. People like Shoe on Head and The Amazing Atheist have brought thousands of edgy assholes to the left. But woke scolds don't want to build the movement. They're allergic to winning. They want to make the left as small as possible so they can claim moral superiority as the alt-right marches us to the gallows. We're lucky here. Richard Dawkins is not a grifter, and he's not an idiot. He's not going to turn to the alt-right just because some people were mean to him on Twitter. But millions of people have done exactly that. Right-wings are a bunch of filthy mongrels. They'll take literally anyone. We can accept imperfect people into our movement and try to change them from within, or we can allow the conservatives to have them. And pretty soon what was originally an edgy douchebag will pop out on the other side as a white nationalist. Look at the Republican Party right now. They're reeling. They have no actual criticisms of the Democratic Party. All they can do right now is conspiracy bait about a stolen election or complain about woke cancel culture. Now, I do think social pressure campaigns can be effective when used properly, but we don't want the public to get tired of our antics. Please, just save your cancellations for a better target, okay? We have Derek Chauvin and Matt Gaetz right now. Fuck.
I'm and I approve this message.